Coming off the win in Denver, we welcome in head coach Josh McDaniels. And, Coach, a lot of what you've been talking about, smart play, that final drive with 5:08 to go. Jimmy stays in bounds. Josh picks up a big block. Talk about the end of the game and the victory.
Yeah, the game, we figured it would be a close game. Division games on the road are obviously important as you go through the course of the season. And it came down to our overall execution and mental toughness there at the end. And I thought the offense put together, the defense obviously stopped them to get the ball back to us. And then the offense went down and executed enough plays to win. And certainly the last play you're talking about, Denver was trying to put some pressure on us. I thought our guys handled the blitz very well. JJ picked up one of the two linebackers, and then Jimmy made a great play to get through there, and then knew what he needed to get to create the first down, and then also put the game out of reach by sliding inbounds and forcing Denver to use their last timeout.
O-line toughness. Let's get into that. The pass protection, the run blocking to try to get Josh going, especially before we get to the Bills. But what'd you see in pass protection throughout the game from up front?
Yeah, I thought they did a good job of working together. We really connected on all of our protections, handled some of the pressures very well. I thought some of the, when they had the four-man rush, I thought our inside guys really did a good job of cleaning out the pocket and being physical and aggressive to do that, to kind of create some lanes for Jimmy to find people and some windows to throw the ball through. So I liked how we anchored the pocket. We're going to need to do another really good job this week against a really good front that will, challenge us in many ways. But I thought we got off to a decent start in pass protection against Denver.
Your defenders, your rookie defenders, Tyree Wilson, Byron Young, and Jacorian Bennett. You start three rookies in that game, Coach, and it's a one-score game and you win. You got to be happy about that.
Yeah, I think, I was really, we had quite a few of them out there for a number of snaps. Michael Mayer on offense as well. So, again, as the season goes, I think we'll probably even get contributions from more of our rookie class. But, I thought they got put in some big spots. Jacorian made some really good plays on the edge. I thought he had the tackle in space, and Tyree and Byron, again, are continuing to get their legs underneath them here as they're working back in. So, an opportunity to learn a lot from that game. Most rookies really can tell a change in the tempo and pace that a regular season game is being played at from the preseason. I think all those guys saw that, and hopefully we'll be better acclimated to it here as we head into the Buffalo game.
Divine Diablo, Coach, was running around too. I love that about him. He's big. He put on that muscle you and I talked about in the offseason, and I love the fact that he can get behind the line of scrimmage and tackle in space.
Yeah, I thought he really did a decent job of covering ground, showing up where he was supposed to. I thought he played physical, made a really important play for us in our last defensive red zone possession there, where he knocked the ball down on a close play that could have potentially been a touchdown. Divine's just been a solid player for us all spring, all summer. Really was ready to go last week, and we're going to need him to play well again this week.
Tell us about the trip to West Virginia. You've been there in the past. You know it, and a couple of players have never been there. What was that like, Coach, behind the scenes with Mark Davis, Dave? You got a great staff, a travel staff, a lot of people behind the scenes making this work. Yeah,
this is, again, a lot of credit goes to all the people that work in-house for us that really put this whole thing together, made trips out in the spring and summer to make sure that we knew exactly what the lay of the land was going to be and how we were going to set up our offices, our film rooms, our meeting rooms, our practice facility, locker room, equipment, training room, the meal preparation, all that stuff. We had a lot of people, a number of people that did a lot of hard work here to allow this to happen, and really appreciative of Mr. Davis allowing us to go ahead and do something like this to prepare to try to win a game on the road on the East Coast. And as you know, a lot of, we have a lot of trips, coming this way, and you try a lot of different things. We've researched it a number of different ways, talked to a number of different clubs, and we obviously know what we've done in the past. So just felt like this at the early part of the season would be an opportunity to do a few things. One, get acclimated to the weather if it was going to be different than what we're getting in in Vegas, which it clearly is. 2, we're going to all be on the Eastern time zone by Sunday. Our body clocks will have acclimated to the East Coast time, so we won't feel like we're playing the game at 10 a.m. And 3, I think it gives our team an opportunity to have another bonding experience. And you need those as you go through the season. You want your team to get close to one another. And I see that happening here in West Virginia.
All right, as we get into Buffalo, Coach, the whole week in sports radio, television was all about the Aaron Rodgers injury on 9/11. Buffalo loses that game. They get you on a short week. You've had a lot of success in the past, personally in Buffalo with the teams when you went in there, but now you're in there as the head coach. Let's first talk about crowd noise in this environment because you handled it well, silent count, in Denver. What's the similarities here?
Very similar. This will be, it's their home opener. Their crowd is, it's really a rowdy crowd, very electric. They'll try to make it difficult on our offense and some of our kicking units to execute before the ball snaps. So, there's no shortcut to that. We're practicing with the noise all week like we did last week. I think our offensive unit and our kicking units have really embraced that. We know what we have to deal with prior to the ball being snapped. There's a lot of focus, concentration, and execution that needs to take place. And, I thought we did a decent job in Denver. We're going to need to do it again here in Buffalo.
Stephon Diggs had 10 receptions, 102 yards, and a touchdown. You mentioned Gabe Davis earlier in the week. Dalton Kincaid, Dawson Knox, they got good players. When they go 4-5 wide with this quarterback, who you gave a lot of praise to. You've competed against him, and we'll talk about this whole offensive unit. Let's get into some of the challenges when they try to attack on offense.
Yeah, this is a very talented group offensively. Obviously, the quarterback makes it all go. He's one of the premier players in our league. He can hurt you with his mind. He can hurt you with his arm. He can hurt you with his legs. And so every play, we have to do a good job of understanding who we're playing against and really playing him the right way. Their skill group is very deep and talented. Obviously, Diggs is one of the best receivers in the league, and there's no question about that. The tight end position for them is they got some playmakers there with Knox and Kincaid, who we liked in the draft as well, and then Davis, Hardy, their backs. Cook's really become a good football player. Damian Harris. There's no shortage of guys for them to get the ball to, and it's really a space game with them. They spread you out and try to create opportunities for their skill players or their quarterback. So we're going to need to do a good job of understanding, how we have to play the game and be disciplined enough to play it the right way for 60 minutes against this team, or else they create explosive plays against you.
Coach, as we wrap this up, it's interesting for you. You've been in a lot of shootouts and you've been in low-scoring games. You know how to coach those games as a play caller. And it was a low-scoring game at MetLife for the Buffalo Bills as they lost. And with the weapons that you have coming into this game, Hunter didn't get any targets. Michael Mayer didn't have a reception here. But you have those guys, and we're going to wait on Jacoby and his status as he's in protocol. Is that the strength also of this offense, that Josh can get going on the ground? You could take the air out of the ball. But if you have to get in a shootout with Jimmy, you have the capability to do that.
Yeah, you'd like to put together a football team that has the ability to win in a number of different ways. And obviously we want to play good defense, play good in the kicking game, and hold the opponent's score down if we can. And if that's the case and we play it a certain way, then I think we can adapt to that and do that. I think if we need to do it a different way, then we're going to have to get contributions from everyone. That's just how a good offense executes and runs. They're very well coached. They're going to know who our top targets have been, and they'll make it difficult on us to try to get the ball to some of those guys at times, and other people will have to step up. And again, the other day, 6 possessions for the entire game was a very unique situation. It limited a lot of things that we could have done in the game just because we didn't have that many plays and the ball that much. So hopefully we'll get back to our normal 10 or 11 possession game, and I think the ball will get distributed where it's supposed to go. I did think Jimmy did a good job of that the other day. Sunday. It just so happened it went to a few more guys more than the rest.
Last one, Coach, the atmosphere for the Raider fans that you saw in Denver. Buffalo's unique because you've been there a lot. It's a hub. It's Western New York. You'll have fans in Chicago and Detroit. But this one pulls from Canada with the Raider Nation, New York, that whole region there that can get in their car and drive. It's a tough ticket for Raider fans because it's their home opener. But the ones who get into Orchard Park are going to be there for you.
No question. And at the end, you could hear them during the course of the pregame warm-ups last week, and you heard them at the end of the game. And our fans follow us everywhere we go. Like I said, I've said a number of times before, it's the best fans in sports. And, we're looking forward to some silver and black populating the stadium there in Orchard Park. And we're going to try to do everything we can to give them a bunch to cheer about.
Good luck in Buffalo. We'll see you back in Vegas next week, Coach. Thank you.
You got it. Thank you.